New Orleans during the holiday season is a special time for families and tourists alike. The nostalgia of the department store lovable mascot Mr. Bingle, to the lighting of the balconies, hotel Christmas lights, and trees being displayed in the CBD, Mid-City, Central City, downtown, everywhere, Ninth Ward, celebration in the Oaks, the infamous City Park. So you can find me drinking eggnog, daiquiris, and singing Christmas carols in Jackson Square, candle in hand. The roaring bonfires on the levee. Mystique, majestic. The Krewe of Kringle parade. Concerts inside the Saint Louis Cathedral in Jackson Square. And of course having a party with Abita Beer and a Kermit Ruffins Holiday album. These are just but a few of things going on in December in New Orleans, Louisiana. December also opens up the veils for a very different type of ghost of Christmas past. A European folklore that has found its way to New Orleans and inspired the creation of one of the most chilling themed haunted houses and visually stunning parades in the United States. Tonight on the Wicked Webs We Weave podcast, we explore the activities centered around the world's favorite demonic Saint Nick, Krampus. And what to expect when visiting these incredible horror Yuletide attractions. Grab your brats, German ale. I'm your host Ryan McKern, and the Belschnickel has labeled me impish this year. So join me as we explore the dark side of the holiday celebrations in New Orleans. And thank you again for joining me in the Wicked Webs We Weave podcast. I hope you have indeed warmed yourself by the proverbial fire in holiday cheer. I myself need a piece of the peppermint bark candy and a good brandy coffee, bourbon perhaps. The Brandy del Diablo from Antoine's Cafe to bring in this Yuletide cheer. Holiday extravaganza. Krampus, meet the half-goat, half-demon monster that punishes misbehaving children of Christmas time. Are Krampus and St. Nicholas brothers? A brief history. What does Krampus do to the children? Krampus in Central European popular legend, a half-goat, half-demon monster that punishes misbehaving children at Christmas time. He is the devilish companion of St. Nicholas. Krampus is believed to have originated in Germany, and his name derives from the German word Kramping, which means claw. Krampus was thought to have been part of the pagan rituals for the winter solstice. According to legend, he is the son of Hail, the Norse god of the underworld. With the spread of Christianity, Krampus became associated with Christmas, despite efforts by the Catholic Church to ban him. The creature and St. Nicholas are said to arrive on the evening of Krampus Nacht, Krampus night, as it is said, while St. Nicholas rewards nice children by leaving presents. Krampus beats those who are naughty with branches and sticks. In some cases, he is said to eat them or take them to hell. On December 6th, St. Nicholas Day, children awaken to find their gifts or nurse their injuries. In modern day, Krampus has become a costume performer at Krampus festivals in Kappel, Austria. Festivities involving Krampus include the Krampuslauf, Krampus Run. In this activity, which often involves alcohol, people dressed as the creature parade through the streets, scaring spectators, sometimes chasing them. Amid the efforts to preserve cultural heritage, Krampus runs became increasingly popular in Austria and Germany. During this time, Krampus began to be celebrated internationally, and the monster's growing appeal was evidenced by the numerous horror films. Some claimed that the expanding popularity of Krampus was a reaction to the commercialization. When Krampus brings its way to New Orleans, we shall dive very soon. Krampus knows when you've been naughty. He doesn't care if you leave nice. Look out, New Orleans, Krampus is coming to town. Only in New Orleans would you find such a mix of cultures, blending their age-old traditions, in keeping with the true European Krampus self. Known as Krampus Run, the crew will maintain many of the traditions found in the Alpine village. The Krampus Parade crew of Krampus, or Krampus Loft, will be led by Krampus, complete with switches, St. Nicholas accompanied by a host of other creatures, and folklore legends like Frau Praschil, the Frau, Yule Cat, Nick, Rupich, Belschnickel, and others, Yules and Halloween characters, Swampus. Completely unique to New Orleans is our very own Sisters of Shh. Shh stands for the Shikharkins hymn. When you see the women all in white, you know Krampus is not far behind. They are very beautiful, but don't let that fool you. They too are out to punish the naughty, or misbehave, or make a noise in their presence, and you just might lose your soul to their icy stare. These unique crew of Krampus characters will help the parade, a unique New Orleans twist that we offer. It also wouldn't be a proper Krampus off without some horns on your head, clanking chains and ringing bells. Krampus is born from ancient Alpine legends, but the shish embodies modern-day folklore. A lot of folks are wondering who the mysterious women are dressed in white. Or that cavar with Krampus. When he is out and about, well, they are the Sisters of Shush. The concept behind Shush was born in 2012 at the Philadelphia Krampus Law. Traditionally, Alpine countries, Krampus costumes are worn by men, and most of the legends that showcase women feature them as old hags. Depicting that wouldn't work as modern legend was born. The character was created and merged in nature with this idea of a female version of Krampus. Thus the Queen of Shush were born, cloaked in all icy white to symbolize the winter. She is a figure to be feared. Like Krampus, she can lure the naughty away and frighten them back into a path of good behavior. But the one thing she always does is warn all that Krampus is coming. Sh stands for she hearkens him. And when you see the women all in white, you know Krampus is not far behind. The Queen and Sisters of Shush always precede Krampus and try to quiet the crowd to avoid people attracting the attention of Krampus and being punished for being naughty. With the official launch of the NOLA parade in New Orleans, the Queen of Shush is joined by the Sisters of Shush. Another thing that is special about these women is that if you catch their eye, you might just get one of the very prized and hand-decorated lumps of coal, for which they'd give white coal. You never know, since one of the magical lumps of coal just might save you from Krampus himself. Adding New Orleans flavor, while dark, earthy, and scary, are a huge part of the Krampus sauce. We want to put a New Orleans twist on things. Think gloomy and frightening meets bright and funky. This will be visually demonstrated with themes, costuming, and colors. Not only we have the traditional Alpine characters, we also welcome angels, fairies, elves, woodland creatures, and whatever else your imagination dreams up that would be a Krampus law. The crew's official colors are holy berry red, black coal, and St. Nicholas gold. So if you have trouble dreaming up a costume, you can at least sport some of the festive crew colors. I myself have donned these colors, including a New Orleans Saints jersey, a black and gold with the theme. Who dat? Now, a crew would not be lost without its king to lead its way, just as Krampus would be lost without the guidance of St. Nicholas. Each year we introduce an honorary St. Nick to kick off the festivities, and close to the parade, our St. Nicholas will be complete with a matrix robe and staff inspired by the crew of Krampus. The mission statement of the crew of Krampus is as follows, and I hope you all enjoy this parade in the future. Our mission: to support understanding, cultural understanding, promote social inclusion, and to contribute to the well-being of children in our community. Our vision, our goal, is to establish a core group of enthusiastic individuals that are passionate about sharing the Krampus tradition here in New Orleans through a walking parade. With a solid base and dedicated following, the crew of Krampus Parade and associated festivities will grow to be a must-attend event of the December holiday season. Krampus works one night a year and has one job: to punish the naughty. Although if you have not been getting yourself into trouble during the year, it may be a bit risky coming to a Krampus gathering, but we will still encourage it. In fact, we strongly encourage all attendees to celebrate with us and get into the spirit by donning themed costumes. Get creative. We want to see you interpret this alpine tradition, New Orleans style. Think a touch of alpine winter, snow, and cold. The more creative you are with the costume, you might be what's needed to capture the attention of the moon of Krampus. Will you get the switch, or will you be coveted piece of coal? Are you brave enough to find out? In keeping with the New Orleans traditions, the crew of Krampus will have traditional throws, along with several of their own, including our own signature throws, which will be handed out to select few. Is an officially decorated lump of coal. It will be Krampus meets Mardi Gras. Be part of the festivities. When it comes to events and parades, we have our work cut out for us. Lucky for all of us, we live in a city that is always open to new ideas. With your help, we can celebrate an age-old tradition in a way that is only fitting for a great city of New Orleans. New Orleans has always been a worldly city, built for many cultures and customs, which is why we wanted to celebrate this fact. With a trope that represents many lands, here in the South we try all to encompass everyone. The Yules are the way we can embody the Yule-time customs of everyone. In this trope, you will find both well-known and obscure customs from around the globe in the common thread, the truth of characters being born of winter. Yule is tied to winter solstice, but the Yules cover the entire Christmas season. If the custom has to do with teaching a lesson of good versus evil, it's fair game. Each year, with the NOLA off, you will find a number of these different stories. Brought to life by the creative bunch, as they charge up costumes and entertain and educate. They also will decide who is deserving or coveted. Decorated lump of coal to be sure to catch the attention as they pass. Will you catch these throws or will you not? Are you blessed or are you cursed? Are you naughty or nice? To make sure you know they are and who they are. They each will have a piece to explain. If you are curious of the Yules and for a response, some characters you may see on the parade include Martha the Wig, Jacqueline the Yule Court, Pierre Filtion, Father of Whipper, and La Befiana, just to name a few. Merci beaucoup, Feliz Navidad, and thank you again for joining me in the Wicked Web Sweepy podcast. This is part 1 of our Krampus special. Once again, I'm your host, Ryan McKern. Enjoy your favorite carols and the haunting winds. And until we meet again, au revoir.